it was an e4. So does that mean it was? Oh yes. Yes. I was down. Yes, and he changed. He played it. He changed it into the Grunfeld. Yes. Now it's coming back. Of course. Let's castle. Yes. All right, let's go. Round number 1. All right, so we are going to start this arena. Let's see. Aggressive openings. We're going to start with e4. I think e4 and c4 are the aggressive English. The English and the French are the aggressive openings. Now there are a couple. Let's play an aggressive line. This is what we call the classic Ortho Schnapp's Gambit. I think Forsen was one of the first ones who mentioned to me, where you take and you play queen b3 and you have bishop c4 and knight c3. I think Forsen mentioned this opening. I actually had no idea what this gambit was, and then Forsen wanted to play against Hafu, and so he mentioned to me. I'm like, okay, why not? It's worth a shot. So yeah, this is the Ortho Schnapp's Gambit for anyone who's not familiar with it. So you get d takes e4. Let's go bishop c4, activate. I want to play d3, quick development, very fast here. More Schnapps are different. Yeah, it goes there, which I think is reasonable, but now I bring out the horse. A lot of threats here with the knight. The queen and the bishop target the pawns on both b7 and f7. We also have a classic right triangle too. Botez Gambit a little bit different. That's a queen. That's the queen sack. Queen sack. Yep. We get bishop c5. That's a mistake. Now I just take the juicer. I guard the pawn. I hit the bishop and I hit the queen. And now I'm very close to winning out of the opening. Yeah. Cramner claimed that I had an average performance over 3600 ELO in November. Does he realize that everybody's ratings are not their real ratings? Does he realize that like everybody's rating is like 500 points higher rated than their real rating? Does he not realize that? Like it's actually just comical on some level. Like I don't even know what to say. It's just that comical. It's like, I know, you shake your head and you're just confused. I'm just confused. Take the bishop. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go f3 king f2 here. I should be doing completely fine in this position. Let's go f3 king f2. It's not what I wanted to play, but f3 takes away some jumps, and now I can bring my pieces to the center really quickly. When I pull up the club, I only see an arena. Pull up the club and then go to chess.com/play. That's what you have to do. So yeah. Go knight b3, maybe d4, just develop. Actually, in reality, I'm not much better with this Ortho Schnapp's opening, but once I finish my development, I should be much better here. Got to move the pawn so I can bring the bishop out. I think I'll go here, maybe rook c1. The only problem is that I can't move the knight because then he gets the kebab with rook e2. There's rook e7. Okay, so somehow I need to finish my kingside development. I guess I'll trade the rooks again. I have an extra pawn in the long run. An extra pawn should be important, so we'll see. You know, annoying mouse for a 7-month resub. Thank you. Let's trade the rook. Still hard to play. I guess I'll play like knight c1 makes sense because now I cover. Yes, I cover the square, develop the horsey, and then bring the rook, extra pawn, and win the game. Oh baby, oh. Let's trade some horses again. Extra pawn should play at the end of the day. Baby, oh. Let's go here, avoid the knight d3 trick, and the knight covers two very critical squares here. By watching your stream, I've won cash prize and FIDE tournaments in India. Thanks for streaming and spreading the knowledge of chess. You're very welcome, Arun. That's awesome. You got a prize in a cash tournament. That's awesome, man. Great stuff to hear. This isn't going to get to an end game, so my opponent's a little bit too slow, but nonetheless, I have one extra pawn. I've also got the great bishop, and this allows the fork and we win the game. Let's take the rook and bring the knight back. Go check. I guess I'll play maybe knight e5 to bring the knight back. Everton FC, the rivals of Liverpool, the team that Salah plays, are sponsored by Kick. If Magus collabs with Salah, you should collab with Everton. Absolutely. No, but what I said it earlier on the stream before we got into it. I was told that basically the footballers, they are, oh wait, I gotta move, let's play e4 again. I was told that basically the footballers, they have no they can't do anything, like literally anything that doesn't promote the team that they're on, because obviously like Mo Salah is getting paid like 20 million. Yeah, go d4, go e5 here, maybe knight c3 and g4. He plays c5. Now this is of course the I forget the name of this gambit. I actually played this gambit against Vesel and Topolov in the London Chess Classic and won on the black side. But objectively, I think, or wait, it's e6 a3 that's considered bad. He goes knight c6 here, a different line. I'll play the old line that I learned long ago, which is bishop b5 here. It's much more than 20 million. Oh, I thought it was 20 million a year. Yeah. Who is dirtier at flagging, Nihal or Daniel? Obviously Daniel. I mean, I shouldn't say that I know that for sure, because like I haven't seen, unfortunately, like Nihal, I haven't actually like seen a lot of his games. So I'm gonna trade him and go c3 here. The idea is to play bishop e3, but also I play c3 so there's no check, so he can't capture the pawn. So let's see what he does. Panov is not super aggressive. Like when I was young, I wanted to play against Caro-Kann. The two setups I played were the exchange card, which is very positional, or the advance with knight c3, g4, etc. So those were the two systems that I played when I was growing up. Nowadays, I mean, like, and I mentioned this earlier, I'm not 100% sure that I'm as much of an authority as I once was, because like chess has changed a lot from when I was growing up. So like the openings that worked for me as a kid, they may not work in the same way that they work. They probably work differently than they did back when I was growing up. Thank you, Itchy and Scratchy, for the subscription. Thank you so much to Itchy and Scratchy. Okay, let's go knight f3. Now the problem for my opponent, he's just down a pawn. But besides being down a pawn, he's got this horrible light square bishop that's hemmed in by the two pawns. But I like the Grunfeld. Grunfeld is interesting. I would say that it's a very hard opening to play unless you're, say, 2600 plus and you really like memorizing variations. It's playable, but you really have to memorize variations, and it's very, very difficult. Very difficult to play. Let's go a3. I gotta play the fish for anyone who's wondering. Hard to show without tilting. Like calamari, we've got calamari and coconut shrimp and tempura shrimp. Go bishop g5. I'm gonna go knight b3, knight d4, and put pressure on the pawns here in the center of the board. Not gonna lie, it looks horrendous. Probably the picture doesn't do it justice. It's Bryson, yeah. So I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna use the knight in the center of the board to pressure these 2 points. Am I still looking at the knight over with black? Are those days over? Of course, like I could answer then say yes or no. Either way, I don't want to give my competition any advantage. So if I don't want to give my competition any advantage, then obviously the simple answer is that I maybe I'm looking at it, maybe I'm not looking at it. Let's go queen a5 here. It looked okay till it went in focus. Okay, so it's too bright. Okay, fair enough. It goes take. 2 pawns. So knight here, f4, 2 pawns to push up the board. Let's go rook a1. Okay, let's play the English this time, not e4. Have I had white every game so far? Play the English opening with c4, knight c3. So we're gonna have a King's Indian, so I'll play e4 to stop d5, also known as the Grunfeld. He'll go here, and then I'll play d4. And now at the lower levels, one line that I really like potentially is to just start pushing P if we want to be very aggressive. Like there's bishop e2, g4, h5, and you go immediately on the king side. Go bishop e2. Now he played h5 to stop me from pushing, but I can start to put my knight on g5 because I have a nice little hook here with the pawn, or as Forreston would call it, the fish hook. So I can put the fish hook with the knight on g5. Master Chef today, maybe not sure. a5, not a good move. Normally black should play a6 and b5. I'm going to plop this knight on g5. It's hooked in here. It hits the pawn f7, e6 squared down the road as well. I would like to win. I would like to win what exactly? Knight b6. Okay, this is not a terrible move because it tries to pressure the pawn, but the pawn is kind of guarded here. So what I want to do here is I want to finish my development. So the big question is, do I castle kingside or queenside? Now I have played h4, but he's played h5, so I'm not super concerned on the king side about some kind of attack in a king's any style. So I think I'm gonna start with f3, take away the square, bring the bishop here, move the queen, and then I'll decide which way to castle the king. But f3 stops knight g4, very important here. So I'm gonna go queen d2, and then I have two options. I go this way or I go this way after I play queen d2. 1 2 two options. Hey Hikaru, I bought that Kasparov King's Indian book last week for 18 bucks. That is awesome, GMHikaru. That is a great book. If you want to learn the King's Indian, you want to play through the games, it's a great book. I love that book. You guys have no idea how much I love that book. That's easily my favorite book from my childhood. It's I think it's like called Kasparov and the King's Indian or something. Yeah. Yeah, let's see. Goes to f6 here. Not a good move. He closes in the bishop. So now I'm going to start pushing because I want to expand the space for both the bishops, but also try to open up some files for my rooks as well. He goes e5. I'm going to play end peasant here because now all his pawns are very, very weak. I also have knight b5 to hit the pawn and the queen. By the way, your shirt is beautifully, Hikaru. Love it. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, let's take the juicer on d6. I can take the pawn on c5 as well. King f8. Okay, let's take more pins here. Should be very, very good. Those are two kinds of illegal moves. Yeah. M peasant is an illegal move. M peasant was an illegal move in chess until was it the 1700s? I don't remember. Takes. Okay, now I trade the queens. We pin the tail on the donkey with bishop c5, collect the rook, and we win the game. Yeah, should be winning. So even if Ding's rating goes inactive from lack of play, still a contender. Ding is still the world champion regardless, so he is in the world championship match no matter what. I'll push my pawn, shut the diagonal for this dark square B, and now I'm just going to eventually use the open lanes for my two towers. Let's go here. I don't have to play this, but I want to trade off pieces because I have an extra tower, so I just want to trade pieces off. I already spoke about the cramped stuff of the star stream. I don't know what's going on. It's all very, very bizarre to me, but whatever. Let's play e7 here. Let's take with the bishop. Bishop f6, logical. Let's just go g3, guard the pawn on h4. Pawn on e7 already guarded. Go here, guard the pawn. Probably I want to just move the bishop and activate the rook with like rook d8. Makes sense. Do I think Alireza will play really aggressive now he's behind? I mean, oh, he hung his rook. I didn't even notice. But yes, I think that Alireza kind of has to go a little bit insane, I think. At least chess-wise, I should say. I think he kind of has to. No, I mean, if he doesn't go crazy, I don't really know how he's going to qualify. Because Wesley is... I mean, Wesley could lose a game, but I really don't think Wesley's going to lose a game today in the Sinquefield Cup. Get the win. Let's go again. Okay, so aggressive openings. We got black. What is aggressive? I'm trying to think. I think aggressive. King's Indian is aggressive. You know what else is aggressive? There's this interesting gambit opening called the Albin Countergambit, which I have actually played before. In fact, I think Erwin Lamy played it against Korobov, maybe. He played, or was it Wojtaszek? He played the Albin against somebody. So the Albin Countergambit is where you strike in the center. Like white pushes these 2 pawns, so he offers this gambit, and then you push and you basically offer the gambit in the center of the board. So knight f6, of course. Let's go here. I want to castle quickly. I also want to put a lot of pressure in the middle of the board immediately here. Castle, instant pressure, instant pressure. Okay, he goes bishop d3. I'll take pawn, take the pawn on d4. But Alireza Wesley can play more tournaments to have another shot. They could, but I don't think it's I mean, what do they have to play? That's the problem. What do they have to play? I'm trying to think about what events they can even play in to make it in. I don't know what they can do. Free piece. Uh-oh. Take farming 800s in unrated. Disrespectful, I know. Go here, just retreat the horse. Music is pretty bussin'. Or music is good, I should say. Bussin's the wrong word. But I'm just gonna bring the rooks to the center of the board, target the queen, target the bishop, and I should be winning the game. Let's go here. Could they play some random Bundesliga? They could play a Bundesliga event, but the problem is you can't afford to mess up. You don't know who you're playing, and I think you already have to agree to play for a team at this point. Go rook f8, just a lot of pressure on the open lanes for the 2 towers. Let's go check. Let's take, I mean, everything's falling apart for my opponent here. I've got rook d1. This is why the Albin is a good opening. You get quick development, very easy to play. There we go, checkmate. Let's go e4. Okay, aggressive. Let's play the Austrian. Let's trade queens, develop fast. Oh, maybe I just go here actually. There's no way to stop the knight c7 trick. Hey Hikaru, how are you today? I'm pretty good, Boxcom. I hope you're doing well yourself. There are literally 20 ways to win. Let's go check. This is one of the 20. Is there no mate? Go check. I feel like there should be a mate here. Take. His king is in the middle of the board. I mean, his king is not in good shape. Won Alireza Firouzja qualifiers with cancer being the highest rated player in January? No, because right now, well, I mean, it's unclear, but right now Wesley So is a higher rating. Good check, hit the king. It's a little bit unclear right now what's going to happen because Wesley could get him via the FIDE circuit, but if Wesley doesn't get him via FIDE circuit, Alireza is not making it. Alireza is lower rated than Wesley So currently. So it's actually the tournament's going to get really spicy now. Go here. I mean, this king is so sad. 340 players. Yeah, 345. Yep. Yeah, unrated is a little bit better. How do I mate him with these knights? There should be a forced mate. Let's go check. No squares. He's only got c7, and I made him with bishop f4 mate. Keep going with the e4. Okay, let's play this two pawn system. This is one of the systems I played against the Alekhine as a kid. You sack a pawn, but you get quick development. Really fast development here on the king side. And now I think h4, rook h3, rook g3, knight f3, knight g5. All kinds of very serious threats here. Very hard to play. Hard to believe Alireza may not qualify. I mean, he hasn't played good chess for some time now. Yeah, he hasn't played for some time. So let's go queen f4. I'm gonna go knight f3, knight g5. Very hard to play this position. When do I think chess will die as a sport due to advancing AI? I mean, right now I don't think it's an issue. I think a lot probably depends on whether things like Neuralink become a real thing. Okay, he goes d5, but this gives me knight g5, and I mean, it's very hard for black to play. I would say, broadly speaking, let's go here in rook f3. I would say, broadly speaking, it depends on things like Neuralink. If Neuralink is successful, chess will probably die. I mean, chess will probably die. That's just simply the reality. But are we anywhere near that point? I mean, who knows? Play queen g3. Yeah, computer brain interface. The moment that happens, chess is done. But then again, a lot of things are done too. A lot of pressure here for my opponent. A lot of pressure. It goes f6, which actually is a pretty good move. Might be the only move that doesn't lose the game. Not a bad move. I think literally maybe the only move that doesn't lose. Wow. Okay, let's go knight h7 though. Try to attack. Sad moment if it happens. I mean, it is gonna happen. We just never know when. We just don't know when. Like, it's gonna happen. I mean, probably, I mean, it can be detected, maybe. I mean, again, obviously, who knows what the future looks like, but I do feel like whenever that's like a real thing, like human computer AI interfacing, that's the end. F5, logical move here. I guess I'll just go back to g5 with the knight. But chess is very popular right now. I mean, we're at our peak in terms of chess. Chess is booming, and it's pretty remarkable actually, because like if you go back to when the boom happened in 2020, sorry, I'm not talking about the game enough. My opponent's king is on the run here, so what I want to do is I kind of want to be very aggressive and just attack him. I want to make this king feel very uncomfortable, so what I'm gonna do is try to open up the center in front of the pawns which guard his king. So yeah, I was saying, like, you know, when you look at the boom that started in 2020 to now, at the same time there was a big esports boom going on. Everything was taking off, and I played c6, so he's trying to get his king away. Guess I'll take. He can't take, so he loses. And now I'm gonna try to take an open file. He's still got problems with all these pieces. Go check. So yeah, like if you go back to 2020, like chess of course took off, esports took off, but now chess is still doing remarkably well, and esports are struggling mightily. So it sort of speaks to how resilient chess is. It does. Fischer was on Letterman in the 70s. No, but Fischer was on with Dick Cavett, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. He might have been on with Johnny Carson too, but I'm not sure. He was definitely on with Dick Cavett, that I remember, but I'm not sure beyond that. Good check. Sack the rook. Oh, just mate. Bishop guards. Let's go here. Unironically, even I saw it. Okay, let's be aggressive. Let's play a Benko Gambit. Now we'll go like b5. Oh, he plays e3. Okay, it's hard to be aggressive now. Is there a way to be aggressive against e3? I don't think there is, but I'll try to create something messy. Let's go knight c6. It's hard getting excited being in 1900 when I'm 1000. It's unrated. That's still very good though. Very good. Let's take and play e5. Hikaru can play like a 3600 but can't find a pawn mate. That's interesting. Yeah, of course, obviously. Yeah, exactly, you guys, exactly. I need some tempura. Just castle. I'm eating tempura, shrimp tempura. Let's go here, hit the queen. And I play knight before, hit the queen, hit the bishop. This should be GG. Do I find this therapeutic? I think it's great. I think it's very good for people who watch the videos who are at a lower level. I know, I mean, maybe the last game or so because I've been eating, I haven't explained a lot, but in general I think it's good. But yeah, prior to the pandemic I couldn't care less about chess or even streamers. Now watching our play chess is my favorite pastime. What the heck happened? Oh, thank you. Very, very nice comment, Eric. California. Let's take California. Yeah, let's play bishop takes d3. Knight guards the bishop. I hit the rook. I take the pawn. I have an extra bishop. Now the most important thing when you have extra material, both captures are fine, by the way. I'll take with the bishop here, and I have an extra piece. So the main thing now is when you have extra pieces, if your king is safe, you want to just trade off pieces, like make the even trades, knight for knight, knight for bishop, trade off the even pieces, because at the end of the day you have an extra knight. So again, I'm going to trade off a knight for a knight or a bishop here. I can take either way. I'll take with the pawn just to consolidate my pawn on c4 here. We need 2. Let's play bishop g5. Hikaru, don't you ever try to use an engine in a game to see how it is? No, of course not. But the thing that I will say on that topic is that there was a point, I want to say maybe like in, I don't even remember how long ago, the chess.com asked me, they asked me if I'd be willing to try and do it. And I thought, I was like, no, that's just like, I just can't bring myself to do that. It's just wrong. Like they asked me to try and like create an anonymous account and see if I could get past their systems basically. But I couldn't bring myself to do it because it's just like so wrong. Let's trade the queens, and I'm gonna play rook e8 here, maybe f5. Okay, let's go rook e8, trade the rooks here. Interesting. Yeah, I've said that before. Trade the rooks and go king f8, rook e8. Extra horse on the board, we just trade off pieces. Yeah, it's really sad what's happening. Really, really sad. Take the rook here. I'm just gonna go b5, b4, c3. Okay, stops before I can get the pass pawn. So, okay. Playing in 1900, we'll still try to be very aggressive. Let's go e4. Okay, let's play the Smith-Morra Gambit. Pretty solid opening. From 1 to 1000, how afraid are you of mittens? Mittens at his strongest was very unpleasant. Don't look at his right or wrong. Try to strengthen integrity. But it's so wrong. That's the thing. Like, I don't know, it's just so wrong. Let's play bishop c4. I'm gonna cap. Oh, this is a mistake. I just take and go knight g5 here. Go check, take the bishop. Mittens is very scary. Why don't I wear glass anymore? Because I just don't like how I look with them. Yeah, I watched a Levidov interview with Vishy. He shared some interesting stories. I mean, I have nothing but respect for Ilya Levitov. I mean, he was my experiences with him were primarily during the town memorial that were held in Moscow, Russia in 2009. So like, I actually have nothing against the guy. He was the president of the Russian Chess Federation. Very nice, very professional, etc., etc. I could go on and on. I'm gonna go knight d5. He takes knight at 4. I get the family fork with knight c7. So very, very nice guy. Have nothing against him, but he really is giving Kramnik this platform. And so I can't really, I'm not gonna really like go to his YouTube channel and look at anything when he's giving Kramnik this platform. It's just that simple. I mean, I have nothing against the guy himself, but I mean, he's giving Kramnik this platform. Let's play knight c7. The knights guard each other. I have queen b3 here, and I feel like something really bad is going to happen to the black king. I did not do eye surgery, and I've said it before. The reason I didn't do LASIK is I'm trying to think of the politically correct way to put this. I never did LASIK because, you know, they always say that, speaking of statistics, let's get back to statistics, they say the odds of like going blind or something are like really, really low, right? They say it's, I don't know, like it's 0.001%, whatever it is. Of course, it's pretty funny now, but they say like 0.001%, whatever it is, that like something will go wrong. But there are two problems. First of all, I do know people who've done it and they've had problems for like they've had some issues for a couple of weeks. That's the first thing. Second thing is, if something goes wrong or something goes wrong and something goes wrong, for example, you could go blind. You could lose your eyesight altogether. So I take the knight. I have a fossil incoming. Fossil time. So basically, yeah, it's like that. And like, I mean, I know it sounds silly, but I'll give you like the I'll give you the example, even if it's a statistical anomaly, quote unquote. You know what happens when like you're at the doctor's office, like doing it in LA. I'll just use LA because it's like more realistic, but you're in LA and I don't know, like let's just say Jessica Alba walks into the office or something, and the doctor is doing it. He looks up, something goes wrong, you're blind, like, you know, it's kind of a problem. Okay, let's play a Sicilian here. Let's play a dragon. The dragon's a very good opening. So let's just take and go knight f6. I'm just giving you guys an example. I'm not saying it would happen. I'm just giving you an example. Let's just play bishop g7 and castles. I wouldn't blame him. Yeah, exactly. Let's just castle. Let's go knight c6 here. Pretty sure it'll happen in a closed room. No Jessica Alba incoming. Yeah, okay. Let's play a5 a4. I want to open up the scope on the long diagonal. I also, now when he plays a4, he gives me another fish hook where the pawn can't kick the horse because he pushed it 2 squares. But yeah, I might I mean, I might do it at some point. It's just the thought of basically having of like something like that I mean, like I know it won't happen, but it's still very scary to think about. I did this trade because I want to again open up the scope for the dragon bishop here. Let's just take with a knight. I don't know, my eyesight's not wonderful, but it's still good enough. It's probably gotten worse due to streaming, actually. Let's go knight b4. If c3, I have knight d3. We're playing darks, by the way. Big shout out to darks. He has a streamer on kick, of course. So let's go bishop e6. I want to use the 2 b's on the diagonals here, like 2 diagonals. Difference between the dragon and the King's Indian? That's a very good question. King's Indian is versus d4 c4. Dragon is usually versus e4. The big difference I would say is in the King's Indian, normally this bishop gets walled in. Like you end up with a very clogged center of the board, and this dark square bishop is not active, whereas in the dragon, the bishop is almost always a very active piece. A lot of pressure here. The biggest benefit of streaming on kick is for you guys, the viewers, which is no ads whatsoever. So because you guys have 0 ads, you get to basically watch it without any interruptions. Let's play queen takes c5, hit the bishop here. I guess I'll just take the pawn, why not? Oh, I hung e7, which you didn't see. I did hang e7. Okay, so it goes rook a2. So I'm up a pawn here. The big issue for me currently is that my rooks are a little bit passive, so I think I want to take an open file if I can. The dragon sucks. Real men play the Ben Oni. Yeah, Ben Oni. Obviously I'll trade now because we end up opposite colored bishops, but this pawn is a very weak pawn in the center. And this bishop is still very, very active here. Take the juicer, go rook b8, play on the file, create the right triangle. Go rook b8 here. Guard the pawn. Go e6, kick the bishop away from d5. All roads lead to Rome here, but I think the main thing is he's trying to infiltrate on the 7th rank, so I need to get my pieces back. I need to play some defense. Maybe the way to play defense is to play h5 and b6 and like rook f5. Yeah, maybe the way to play defense is just put the pawns on the opposite color and then hook the bishop to the pawns, create a chain. Trade, go bishop f8. Hikaru, you beat Kramnik from a completely lost position in London around 2013. Vishy mentioned that Kramnik completely lost his mind after that match. 2013, I beat him from a losing position. 2013 London Chess Classic was rapid, so could it have been a, was it, if it was 2013 it was rapid, if it was any other year it was classic. I don't recall because I beat Gelfand in the final of the rapid. I don't recall playing Kramnik in the rapid, but I could have. Did I beat him in a King's Indian maybe? Wait a second. Did I beat him in some King's Indian maybe? Was there some King's Indian that I beat him in? Let me check. London Chess Classic 2013. Something's ringing a bell. Something's ringing a bell. I feel like there was the 2013, let's see, Group A. No, not Group A. Group B? Wait, there's only Group A and Group B? Was there Group C? Oh, it's very messy. Group D, Group C. I don't know. Anyway, my clock is low, so let's go rook e3. Actually, against a weaker player, I should sack, but I don't need to here because I'm putting everything on the dark squares. Yeah. I just lock everything on the opposite color, and the bishop can't touch anything. Yeah, but I'm on chess games, and it's just on Group A, B, C, D. Okay, let's just sack. No need to be cheeky. F5. Create a pass pawn and win the game. QGD exchange. I mean, I don't remember the game actually. I just don't remember the game. But it sounds about right actually. It does sound right. Go check and mate. It's December 15th. Problem is they like chess games has it broken down into groups: Group A, Group B, Group C, Group D. Yeah, it's broken down. Let's do it. I'll take a look afterwards. Let's play the Smith-Morra Gambit again. Play c3. This is because these arenas are unrated. That's the reason. So I play lower rated players. Let's play the classic Smith-Morra. Great opening in my opinion for lower rated players because you get this fast development in the center of the board. When you're down a pawn, you have to learn how to use the space in the middle of the board. I go rook d1, play for e5. Immediate pressure here because I've finished my development. Very critical. Okay, let's go here. Pressure the pawn. A lot of pressure here immediately. Listen to the music. Whoa, whoa. Listen to the music. Okay, I think this is some mistakes I can just take. He's pinned here. So takes, and I should be doing pretty well. Listen to the music. Go here. If he checks, I just block with the bishop and I win materials. He's gonna have to move the bishop away and then I drop my bishop back. Let's go here. Keep the pressure alive on this weak pawn on d6. Drop the juicer back. Keep the pressure on d6. I can go king h1 or bishop f2. This makes a little bit more sense to spy the pawn and the queen on the diagonal here. You found the game too? Okay, entropy. Let's go knight b5 and hit the pawn on a7, pawn on d6. I see the game as well. But send it to my mods. My mods will obviously be able to send it to me. I'm sure once I see the game it'll come back, but right off I don't recall it. I mean, I know I beat Gelfand with the King's Indian. That much I remember in the final, but I don't remember. Yeah. What am I doing? I guess I'll take and it's very smooth here. I just want to stack the 2 towers, keep pressing the pawn on d6. So let's go here, double stack into the legendary triple stack. Here's the triple stack, more pressure. Now my pawns are very, very solid here in the center of the board as well, so very, very good position. Now I go here, even more pressure with a triple stack. Now the beast spies the pawn and everything's collapsing. Oh, is there a knight a7 somewhere? Oh wait, knight a7. Oh, I'm actually terrible at chess. That's so bad. So let's just take the pawn. We've got 4 pieces on the d file. Goes there. I think I can go here because now I'm gonna ice skater him on the back rank. King is stuck, no squares available. It was during the rapid knockout. Really, I actually don't remember it. I don't remember the game, but yeah, I mean, once I see it, obviously it'll come back to me, but I don't remember it right off. I mean, it was 10 years ago, and I mean, maybe that's an insult to Kramnik, because like if it actually was memorable, I probably would remember it, and I don't. Like I remember the Gelfand game which won me the tournament. I remember the Gelfand game which won me the tournament, but the Kramnik game I don't. In the grand final I played against Boris Gelfand. This is the Bishop / Vienna opening. Very fast development here. Go knight f3. Hikaru is surprised he doesn't remember a game now. Keep developing here. Go h3 and take. Did someone say my name? Yeah, there was an ice skater. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, Vishy I mean, all top chess players have pretty amazing memories. It's just a matter of what sort of is classified as something like memorable or like why you remember. Like I remember the game against Gelfand, which won me the tournament. I don't remember the Kramnik game because it was just it wasn't important, obviously. So let's play c3 and bishop d3 here. But yeah, it just depends. It's actually, I would say there has to be some specific. There has to be a specific reason to remember the game. Like it has to be like it was the last round, or you made a GM norm or IM norm. Like there has to be some significance, because otherwise you're generally not going to remember certain games. That's just how it is. Take and go bishop g5. It was too easy. Yes, it was too easy. Yeah. It started with a q. Oh, it was an e4. So does that mean it was? Oh yes. Ah, yes. I was down. Yes, and he changed. He changed it into the Grunfeld. Yes. Because I played the a3 line, right? I played a3 and then he played g6 and it transposed into the Grunfeld, and I was in a lot of trouble. Yes. Now, yes, of course now I remember it. Yes, because I played a3 to stop the whole bishop b4 line, and then he played g6, it transposed into a Grunfeld. I think he was up in exchange somewhere, and then he lost the game. Yes. Now it's coming back. Of course, let's castle. Yes. Yeah, and he should lose his mind over that game, because that was a ridiculous swindle. So he should remember it. Of course of course he should go insane. Vishy's absolutely right. Yes. Let's go here, knight f5. Yeah, because it was shortly after I think the Candidates, was that in March of 2013? There was a Candidates where Kramnik started playing this very boring like exchange off all the pieces in the semi-tirage with knight d5, knight c5, cd4, etc. But then against me, he changed. It came out of the other order. It was out of the knight c3 move order. He played d5, and then after c5, I was able to play this a3 move. Let's go king b1. Yeah. Never saw a happier man remembering something. LOL. Yes. Yeah. Just take. We all follow you without a board. Yeah, it's like I'm like this. Like it's like what was it? Was that Fantasia where Mickey is just like he's making the music with his fingers? I think it was Fantasia if I remember correctly. But yeah, I'm doing the whole like the Mickey Mouse thing with my fingers pointing this way, that way. Yeah, after we end the arena, I can show you guys the game. Obviously, I can show you the game. Yes. I don't remember when it was exactly, but I also remember I remember Gary's talking about that game to me. I forget when that was exactly. That might have been 2014, but yeah, Gary talked about the game. He's like, yeah, this A3 probably isn't good because of G6. I think it was Gary, or was it Lecco or someone? I don't even remember at this point. Let's go H5 here. Pressure on the knight and the pawn, should be winning. I missed a fossil. I guess, yeah, there was a fossil, right? Yeah. So rook D2, guard the pawn on B2. I can take and win the game. Yes. I can't take because I get mated in one. Okay, now I take the fossils in play. Uh-oh, you can't take, bro. Checkmate. Yeah. Yeah, no, that game, yes. He was up in exchange in that game and he lost it. Okay, let's play one of the E5 gambits, which are very solid. After knight f3, there are a couple of gambits you can play. You can play the Latvian gambit or the elephant gambit. Actually, I think I'm going to play the Latvian gambit here with f5. I think Ding will play. Yeah, no, I mean, as soon as I remember what the opening was, that's all I needed for the game to pop up. See, that's why it's like so random. Like if somebody had told me I played Kramnik in 2013 and they said it was this semi-Tarrasch where you played A3, I would have immediately remembered the game. But because like that's what triggers it and not actually like the match itself, it's wild. I also remember it very well in 2013. I think the first match I played in the knockout was against Nigel Short. I remember like I played Nigel and I beat him and he wasn't very happy about it. Like I think I beat him like a close Sicilian maybe, if I remember correctly. He wasn't happy about it, but at the end of the tournament, like afterwards we're all at the closing ceremony and Nigel's like, well, I gotta congratulate you. I'm glad that I lost the eventual winner. So yeah, good D6 and play Queen E7. Do you feel more motivated since your peers are staying silent? Not really. I mean, we know one of the people is happy to see this, but I think everybody else is just playing the Singfield Cup. They don't have time to respond to this. That's the bottom line. I guess I'll go here because there's no knight G5 maybe. Yeah, like I mean, nobody can. I mean, like I would bet you almost any amount of money that Fabiano and Christian will do a podcast about this as soon as the tournament is over. But of course Fabiano is playing in the Singfield Cup, and I mean he's already low energy, like he's played too much chess this year. So I mean to take energy during the event to try and do a podcast when he's playing a serious tournament, he's low on energy, it's just not practical. So he'll do something. He'll do something later. Unfortunately, this move by my opponent hangs a horse. It's a good concept to try and hook the knight, but unfortunately here he loses the knight on h4. How do I feel about Magnus's tweet? It's very obvious what his tweet was saying. I was kind of surprised that there seemed to be a lot of people who think it means something else. It's very clear what it means. He's obviously making fun of Kramnik, and people shouldn't overlook the fact that yeah, people shouldn't overlook the fact that you know who worked with both Magnus and myself was a certain player by the name of Gary Kimovich Kasparov, also known as one of the greatest players of all time. And Magnus said this before, and I will say this too, like Gary hates Kramnik. He hates him. He does not like him at all one bit. And actually the one last time that I worked with Gary was in 2014, I think, the FIDE World Cup, which was held in was it Stavanger? No, not Stavanger. It was in Tromsø. I believe it was in Tromsø, Norway. And so I asked Gary before the event, I'm like, you know, you want to do one last rodeo, maybe help me with the World Cup, see how it goes. And he's like, sure, just make sure he was like, sure, just make sure you get to that, was it 4th or 5th round? Just make sure you get to that round where you play Kramnik. You got to beat Kramnik. That was like what he was saying to me, actually. Like he's like, you just make sure you get to that round to play Kramnik. And unfortunately I lost the round before. I lost to Korobov the round before, so it is what it is. But yeah, he's like, just make sure you get to play Kramnik. He's like salivating over that prospect. Play Queen G2. Does Gary hate Vichy? Of course Gary thinks he's the greatest ever. I think hate is too strong of a word as far as Anon goes. Yeah. Let's play D4 here. Yeah. No, I mean, you don't have to like be a huge fan perhaps, but like he does not hate Vichy. But there's definitely real bad blood between Kasparov and Kramnik for sure. I mean, Magnus also said the same thing essentially. Let's play C4, knight C3 here. I should have played with something a little bit more aggressive. I'm declining the Benko Gambit, but now see, if you don't push or take, now I get the pawn and I haven't compromised my structure. I still have all my pawns connected on the chain. Go bishop g2 and castles. Problem is it's not quite a true Benko because the b file is open, but he doesn't have play on it. Tweet from 2014, Anand said he took Kramnik for dinner to console him after his loss, but he persuaded Anand to play it. Now my opponent trapped his bishop on g4. This is one danger with playing like Benko type gambits, is that you end up with this light square bishop and you're not sure what to do with it exactly. And if you aren't careful, you can get it trapped like my opponent just did. The shower of love Vishy gets from Chess Fan should be recorded in history. I mean, Vishy, of course, like everybody else, he's very confident. He wants to do his best. But I would say Vishy, I mean, I think that's why Vishy is just better than Kramnik ultimately, is I think Vishy is much more like sort of steady, I guess you could say, like just plays the game, does his preparation. Like I mean, Vishy has an ego, of course all top players do, but it's not pronounced. I think that's what I would say. It's not pronounced in the same way. Like Vishy is just much more composed. And I mean, it's like the best example is that is like Vishy when he loses a game, especially towards the end of his career, when he was, I mean, I know he still plays, so he's not retired, but like when he was still very active, it's like if Vishy got a bad position or lost position by move 20, he just resigns the game and gets out of there as fast as possible. So he'll just resign the game, move on, go back, eat dinner, like relax, whatever. And like Kramnik's quite the opposite. It's like, oh, I was winning this, I was winning that, you know, this went wrong, that went wrong, you know, etc, etc. And so it's a very, very pronounced difference between the two of them. Absolutely. Go h6 to hit the bishop here. I can play e5 here, why not? Take. Kramnik is like most of us. Actually, that's one thing that I would say is a lot of people that I know, like who aren't like GMs, like say FMIM level, a lot of people in that like 22 to 2400-ish range over the board, of course. I would say that they don't have objectivity. They don't have objectivity, and what I mean by that is they actually think they're always winning. It's like, I'm always winning, I'm always doing this right, that right. Like there's too much sort of arrogance, too much ego, instead of being objective about everything. So Vishy literally inspired Indy to play chess. I mean I could go on all day long about Vishy Anand. Just, I mean, what needs to be said? I mean, a great ambassador for the game. I mean, you look at chess in India, I can't think of anywhere else where you can literally say that it's directly because of one person. I mean, like Vishy doesn't get the credit that he deserves, honestly. I really want to sack the rook here, so let's go for a thematic sack. I mean, in the Western world, I should say he doesn't get the recognition he deserves. But I mean, again, like if you look at Indian chess, you look at Prague, I mean, not even Prague, Vedic, Gukesh, Hari Krishna, even if you go back, like all these kids are a direct result of what Vishy has done his entire career. It often surprised me how you and Fabiano are brutally honest about the moves and positions. That's a big mistake. He hangs the queen and we win the game. Fabiano is another player who's extremely objective. Like you'll never see Fabio is another guy, of course he has ego, he wants to be the best, but you'll never like if the position doesn't warrant it, he's not gonna be like, and I was completely winning, I should have won this game. Like he will never say that because Fabio is a very, very objective player. Most people are these days. I'm gonna play the advanced Caro-Kann again to be very aggressive with e5 knight c3. Okay, let's play the advance. This is what I played a lot as a kid around 2300. This g4 92 h4, very aggressive system. Magnus might say very well. The thing is, the difference is like when you hear Kramnik talk or Fabi or myself, any of us, we'll say we think it's slightly better. You'll never hear us say it's much better, it's winning, like it's winning. Like you'll never hear that jargon when it comes to like over the board chess. You'll just never hear us say that jargon. Online, of course. Oh, that's checkmate. Online I do say that. Over the board I don't say that. Of course online's a lot different than over the board too. But I think, you know, the biggest reason for that, let's play the French. Biggest reason for that is frankly because when you play chess these days, computers show us that every position has resources. Like a good example also of that is Garry Kasparov. When I worked with Gary, I actually I had his database, of course. I had his database, and there were so many positions in Gary's database from like the 1980s and 1990s and like King's Indian positions where he would put this great symbol for unclear. He'd put this unclear symbol at the end of the line, and then when you actually look at it with a computer says like plus minus, like +2 for white. There were a lot of positions like this in his file, and I think that also kind of speaks to how chess used to be, because like I mean, at the end of the day, when you look at look at how like Kramnik looks at things, or Gary, like they're literally from the same school of chess. Like Gary and Vladimir both went to the I believe it's the Botvinnik school for chess, if I'm not mistaken. Let's make a check here in Queen E7. But they both went to the same school, whereas most of us didn't go to, well, I mean, school is a generic term obviously, but like Fabiano, myself, Magnus, like we're from a completely different time period. The way we analyze chess, the way we evaluate, all these things are completely different. Let's just take the knight and take. Accusing Hikaru of cheating is jealousy. Nobody else in the chess world can play blitz and bullet while streaming, talk about anything under sun. Thanks his followers for resubs, appreciates donations, eats his breakfast for lunch, and whatever happens in between. Yeah, exactly. Like I said earlier, I mean, I hope chess.com looks at my games. They should look at my games. If they aren't, they aren't doing their job. I hope they look at my games. I really do hope they look at my games. Take pawn on c3, and I think that only infuriates Kramnik, because Kramnik probably thinks that I'm cheating, and so when I'm like, yeah, just look at my games, look at everything, I don't care, I've got nothing to hide, it probably just upsets him even more. I should sign the petition. Yeah. Okay, let's play rook d8 and hit the queen here. I mean, look at my games. I've got all the games are out there. Look at the games. Okay, let's play knight d5 here. Maybe queen c5, queen a5. Takes. I've got a fork with knight e3 that wins material. How does a statistician measure your ability to pick and choose opponents? That's a problem. I mean, I think, as I've said a few times today already, I think the biggest thing is, if Kramnik was serious about this, what he would be looking at is he'd be looking at the players I'm playing at and trying to figure out, like, why are these guys like 29-30 and they're playing and they're much weaker than the rating? Because like R2's 28-70, but he's playing much better than his rating. So R2 is very clearly underrated, the guy I played earlier today. And then like R2 is much lower rated, but I mean, R2 plays much better than the 29-50 I played the other day. Much better. It's not even close. So if Kramnik really cared about the topic, he would actually be looking at that instead, but he doesn't care about the actual topic. It's some kind of weird personal vendetta that I just don't understand. Let's play rook d2 and hit the pawn on a2. I can push the pawns on the queen side, and I should be winning. Oh, sometimes I get a good feeling. Go a5, a4, a3, a2. 17.5, 3.5, yes, and I'll tell you why. There were a couple games that I won on time that I was losing in. 17 and 3.5, I lost rating points. Third, was it Adar 16 or whatever his username was? Let's go king f1. Third, against Adar, I went 16-0, and I would say if you look at those 16 games, I was in danger maybe in like 1 or 2 of those games. So let's go checkmate. I don't think we have time for one more, but let's try to play one more. Yeah. Play e4 here. It won't be good for chess. Sponsors don't want that type of drama. Oh, it's very bad for chess. Obviously, it's very bad. Very bad. Let's go bishop c4 here. 500 elo that profile. That was a good game. Yeah. Also, like the other, another thing that people don't talk about is like, or they do talk about, but if you look at the Magnus effect, I guarantee you, if you look at Magnus's games over his entire career against all the top players, if you, is it quantitatively or qualitatively? I'm trying to get it correct, but I would say that if you look at the quality, it's qualitative. If you look at the quality of their play against Magnus, it is worse. I do believe that it is statistically worse. Top players play statistically worse against Magnus than they do against each other. I do believe that is true, actually. Levon maybe not, although in recent times I feel like Levon's been getting hammered by Magnus a lot. But I would bet that if you look at everybody's games against Magnus, like say Levon versus Magnus or Levon versus me, or you look at both like Levon and myself, when we play Magnus, we play much worse than we play against each other. And that is legitimately a thing, and I don't know how you're supposed to ever measure for that, because that's just pure psychology. Let's go here. Just take. And well again, that's psychology. You're playing Magnus Carlsen, or you're playing me. You're playing great players, and that's something that there's no way, I think, of measuring at the end of the day. Yeah, that's because Magnus is the best. He makes a move and you think he's always right. Probably true. I mean, Vishy. What was that move? There was a knight takes pawn in the center of the board in that critical game in the match where Magnus, like, he held the pen and then he left as quickly as possible. But yeah, I guarantee you, if you look at the average over the board of top players against Magnus, they play worse. They play worse. Absolutely, they play worse. So I want to keep this light square bishop on the. Oh, I guess the arena is going to be over, but I just want to go 1, 2, 3 and crush on the f5. That's all I have. So I just want to go like 1, 2, 3 and 4 and crush on the king side. That's all I want to do. Should I play more classical games to get better at chess instead of blitz? If you're a lower rated player, play more blitz. Absolutely. So yeah, all right, so pretty good arena. That was fun. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the banter. I enjoyed the games. Actually, this game was a very important one where you get the double pawns here, but you want to attack on the king side here. So third place, nice try. Yeah, I mean, it's not first, but it's better than last, of course. So